If you watched Disney's Gravity Falls week after week when the show first premiered, you probably went through dozens and dozens of theories involving the author of Journal 3, the meaning behind so many mysteries, and the secrets Stan has been keeping. Well, after 40 episodes, a lot of those mysteries have been solved, and even though the series is long over, a ton more theories continue to get posted to the web by die-hard fans. Now it's time to dive deep back into the Mystery Shack and reveal some of the craziest fan theories which might actually be true. In the series finale of Gravity Falls, Stan and his twin brother Ford set the ultimate trap for Bill Cipher by having him go inside Stan's mind and using the memory gun to blast him away. While Cipher was seemingly gone for good, this may not be the case, and the one-eyed demon could easily make a return to Gravity Falls in the future. Just how did this theory come about? Well, there were major factors. The first was during Bill's death. He utters some gibberish as his body changes shape and warps. Well, if you play the audio backwards, you can clearly hear Bill saying, "AXOLOTL, my time has come to burn. I invoke the ancient power that I may return." So, while his physical form may be gone, there seems to be some sort of loophole or way for Bill to come back. An official Gravity Falls movie would certainly be ideal. Along with Bill's cryptic message, further clues pointing to him still being alive were found in a book entitled Dipper and Mabel and the Curse of the Time Pirate's Treasure. In the book, Dipper and Mabel come across a giant axolotl who reads a poem about Bill. Some of the key lines include "saw his own dimension burn, misses home and can't return, says he's happy, he's a liar." And then the poem ends with this: "If he wants to shirk the blame, he'll have to invoke my name. One way to absolve his crime, a different form, a different time." So not only is Bill still alive in some form, but his return may be completely different than the yellow triangle shape we're used to seeing him in. Bill's death in the series finale of Gravity Falls also came with a major sacrifice. Stan lost his memories in the process. Thankfully, the memory loss didn't last too long, but many pondered why. By breaking down the use and history of the memory gun, a theory is developed pertaining to his ability to regain his memories so quickly. One of the main uses of the gun was so people wouldn't remember the crazy or supernatural things found in Gravity Falls. So if someone sees a zombie, boom, the memory gun erases that memory. The main reason these memories don't come back is because they don't encounter a zombie again. The memory gun only seems to work as a cover-up rather than fully erasing something. Old Man McGucket is able to restore years of memories after watching home movies of himself.
My name is Fiddleford Hadron McGucket, and I wish to unsee what I have seen.
So when Stan sees the scrapbook of his family, the memories come flooding back in, and he's able to connect and reunite with Mabel and Dipper once again. The gun was also set to Stanley Pines, meaning that the memories were only focused on the times that he was referred to as that character. Stanley spent several years as a con man, taking on the role of different people and personas, meaning he definitely didn't lose as many memories as people originally thought. Any show involving time travel will likely get comparisons to other fictional time travel pieces of pop culture, including the beloved Back to the Future series. So when Mabel and Dipper start using time traveling devices, things get a little bit tricky for the future and various timelines on the show. One of the craziest theories to come from this is Mabel's connection to the future and how her fate will pan out. That future could be represented in a key scene from the first Back to the Future. In the film, Marty McFly lives in a town with the Two Pines Mall. When he travels back in time, the time-traveling DeLorean smashes into one of the actual twin pine trees, killing the plant in the process. When Marty goes back to the future, the mall name is changed to the Lone Pine Mall. Well, how does this connect to Mabel and Dipper? They are the Pine Twins. And Dipper's hat may be a big clue. There's only one pine on it, meaning in the future, he is the lone pine tree who remains. We all know Blendon threatened to go back in time and change their future existence, but how did he actually do it? The show didn't give us any further clues, and the whole Pine Twins may just be a clever reference. Bill Cipher is a dream demon and just about as evil as they come. So not only do we have to question why we like the evil character so much, but wonder if there are any other evildoers like him in the Gravity Falls universe. Well, if one theory turns out to be true, then it's an unequivocal yes. The theory states that not only is there another similar villain, but it may actually be Bill Cipher's brother. And it all comes back to the Zodiac Cipher wheel we've seen and analyzed since the beginning of the show. The symbols surrounding the wheel each represented a character on the show and played an important part for the final battle against Bill. But what if there was something missing we never realized? Bill's brother could be represented on the wheel with the 5-pointed star. While Gideon Gleeful stepped into that spot for the finale, he was more or less a fill-in for the area. Bill Cipher does use the Xolotl, an Aztec deity in the series finale. And what people may not know is that the Xolotl is known as a god of twins with a brother named Quetzalcoatl. So Bill could have a star-shaped twin out there somewhere, one dedicated to the Quetzalcoatl and ready to unleash his demon-like qualities on the world. How many times have you run into a Gravity Falls fan and had the conversation of Dipper's real name come up in conversation? For multiple years, it was one of the main topics of discussion and speculation on the show. And while a lot of these presumptions were completely wrong, the reasoning behind them definitely made sense. One of the biggest clues about Dipper's real name comes from show creator Alex Hirsch and his sister Ariel. The twins have alliteration in their names and assumed the same would be used for Dipper. So for a long time, an M name was considered. And one of the best theories was that Dipper's name was Max. Other options included some strange ones, including Gable, Ladle, or Abel, all with connections to various story arcs the characters went through. Unfortunately for fans, the true name was never revealed on the actual show. So for years, the whole M-name theory relating to Dipper was spread around, but never confirmed or even hinted at. The finale came and went, leaving fans highly disappointed without any possible revelations. Then the Gravity Falls official Journal 3 publication was released, and as fans began digging into the book's contents, a huge revelation was found: Dipper's real name. In an entry written by Ford, he reveals a conversation with Dipper where he blurts out his name, Mason. In a profile written earlier in the book, the character even writes an M before crossing it out and writing Dipper Pines. Not only does the name Mason start with the same letter as Mabel, but it's the same amount of letters and a whole M-A beginning. And this is where even more theories begin to flesh out. Why was Dipper so embarrassed about his name? Some speculate his father used to tease him and call him my son, while others speculate his love for the name Tyrone made him despise most other names. Either way, without a copy of Journal 3, many people wouldn't have known about the name that was kept secret for 40 episodes of the show. The journal mentions that Amelia Earhart crash-landed in Gravity Falls and disappeared in the woods. While the reference is a fun little nod to the historical pilot, we have to wonder if there's more than meets the eye here. Specifically, has Amelia Earhart made an appearance on Gravity Falls? Even though she would be extremely old, age and supernatural occurrences could have allowed Earhart to live a lot longer than expected. For example, she could have easily taken on the new name Granny Sweetkin and opened up the tourist trap known for having the world's biggest ball of yarn. Or maybe she opened a grocery store, got married, and was known as Ma Duskerton, the store clerk who has a dislike for teenagers. And then, there's the biggest twist of all. If Amelia Earhart did settle down in Gravity Falls, she very well could be Sue's grandmother, better known as Abuelita. For some reason, we cannot seem to bring up cartoon theories without mentioning the all-mysterious Illuminati, but here we go again. With a mysterious show, you know the Illuminati would make an appearance as well. Bill Cipher may be one of the most obvious signs on the show. The triangle shape and single eye are clear-cut signs of the Illuminati, but there are plenty more as well. The show is filled with mysterious triangles, and there are a lot of single eyeballs hidden throughout the series. Of course, these eyeballs may also point to hidden clues about Bill Cipher. So, is Bill Cipher a part of the Illuminati? Can anyone explain exactly what the Illuminati is other than an ancient secret group that has just become a little trendy to talk about? Either way, it's hard to deny all of the Illuminati symbols in the show, and the history of other Disney shows like DuckTales showcases how animators have been able to get these references through the cracks over the years. In the episode Blendin's Game, we learn exactly why Sue doesn't like celebrating his birthday, and it directly correlates with his father leaving him as a young child. Through the course of the show, we don't learn much about his father, but several theories have come up about the character. One of them includes the reason why he's never in Gravity Falls. His father could be a professional wrestler. Through Gravity Falls creator Alex Hirsch, we learn that one of his role models is pro wrestler Terry America. While that professional wrestler is likely not his father, another one may be. Sue's father may have left him to travel the country and attempt a successful career in the world of professional wrestling. To make matters worse, he never visits his son, and the postcard he sends barely means anything to Sue. Thankfully, the character has found his own family in Gravity Falls and is able to truly bond with characters like Dipper, Mabel, and Stan. For a children's show, Gravity Falls can get awfully complicated. This is mostly due to time travel and the crazy elements Blendon has set up through the series. While some people use the episode Blendon's Game to speculate about his father, others use the time travel elements to learn a ton about the show's creation and how certain stories were set up. It's pretty crazy to believe, but the whole reason Sue even got a job at the Mystery Shack in the first place is because of Dipper and Mabel. As the characters travel back in time to a younger Sue, Mabel teaches Sue the vending machine trick he taught her in present time. This creates a time loop in which Sue goes to the Mystery Shack and uses the tips Mabel taught him to get a job there.
Thanks, dog. You must be some kind of genius.
Confused yet? Well, a theory goes even deeper. At one point, Dipper runs into a very young version of Wendy, his crush. The toddler tells her friend she thinks Dipper is cute. Could this moment have changed the future? In present time, Wendy is far older than Dipper, but expresses an interest in him and they bond a lot over the summer. A theory proposes that deep in Wendy's subconscious, the quick meeting with Dipper in her past has led to the connection and her interest in him as a younger friend, creating another time loop which has helped set up so many events in Gravity Falls. After watching an episode of Gravity Falls, viewers have a couple of options. Hope another episode would come right on, or watch the other one back again to try and use ciphers to solve the cryptograms displayed at the end of each episode. These cryptograms often featured fun messages, sometimes gave clues to bigger mysteries on the show, and were just another layer of the show to enjoy. While we were all able to solve all of the ciphers and cryptograms and figure out the clues as needed, there's one big mystery we were never able to quite figure out. Who actually wrote those clues? Sure, series creator Alex Hirsch and his team of writers obviously wrote them, but in the canon of the show, who came up with them? Ford is a good guess because his own Journal 3 is filled with a lot of different ciphers and puzzles, but we're going with a long shot theory and guessing it's actually Bill Cipher writing the cryptograms. The first clue, Cipher, is actually in his name. Also, a lot of the clues felt like taunts from Bill himself. This includes heavy is the head that wears the fez, Bill Cipher, triangle, and be wary of whom you belittle. In the episode Headhunters, Mabel gives Stan the most ideal gift, a wax statue of himself. While the story and beheading of the wax statue is mostly played for laughs, things get a little weird when Stan begins treating the loss of his wax statue like a real person. Not only does the wax statue get its own coffin, but we see Stanley hold a funeral for the wax figure, taking everything completely seriously and even breaking down into full-blown tears. At the time, fans speculated that the storyline was far more than a silly joke. The reason Stan got so upset was because he actually had a long-lost twin. This theory turned out to be completely true, with a huge reveal of Ford later in the series. Looking back now, you can see and process the real anguish Stan had over the loss of another twin, whether it was just a wax figure or not. And speaking of random, early on in Gravity Falls, everyone thought Old Man McGucket was just a goofy character who spent most of his life living in the town as a dim-witted resident who wasn't quite there mentally. Well, come to find out, McGucket was actually a brilliant genius and used his own memory eraser gun to zap his mind over and over again. He was also the leader of the Society of the Blind Eye, a group dedicated to using the gun whenever anyone in Gravity Falls witnessed something crazy and supernatural. The society still existed when Mabel and Dipper spent their summer in Gravity Falls, but the duo were never victims of a zap. A theory exists as to why. Because McGucket worked under Ford for so many years, many theorized that there were rules in the society about protecting Ford, Stan, or the rest of the Pine family from ever getting zapped by the memory gun. This is why the journals could be written and how Dipper spent his summer encountering a lot of supernatural sources before coming across the Society of the Blind Eye. No matter how much his brain got zapped, McGucket always showed his loyalty to the Pine family. It's pretty funny how a simple animation mistake could lead to some pretty far-fetched theories. This one involves the character of Mabel and a secret clone who may exist. In the episode The Deep End, Mabel gets a collection of glass bottle messages from Armando. Well, one of the bottles accidentally says Le Bam instead of Mabel. The thing is clearly an animation editing mistake, but people have speculated that there is a long-lost member of the Pine family, a clone with the backwards name of Mabel, aka Le Bam. While that theory is a little far-fetched, there is another theory where the clone character of Le Bam or another name could exist. In the episode Double Dipper, Dipper uses a special copying machine to make clones of himself. Some people believe Mabel secretly made a clone of herself, and that is what the Deep End episode is referring to. And while we're on the topic of clones, let's focus on all those Dipper clones from the classic episode Double Dipper. We see how a majority of the clones from the episode all perished from the Dipper Brawl, but there were 2 remaining. Clone 3, aka Tracy, and Clone 4, aka Quattro. We had to wait 33 whole episodes to find out the fates of the clones, and it turned out they're still alive. While you were wiping tears away during the series finale end credits, you may have missed the quick scene where the 2 clones sit in the woods by a campfire together. The open-endedness of their survival has led to plenty of theories. So what will come of the clones? They have to avoid moisture, which is a pretty tough challenge, but we can only hope that their future was kept open-ended for some type of official graphic novel or story. Wow, well, time to go even deeper into Gravity Falls. We're just gonna go ahead and rewatch the whole series again. Okay? Good. Come watch with us. Tell us your favorite theories and any we may have missed. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to ScreenRant for more great videos.